What's up? It's your boy Anthony Simmons, and you already know the vibes. I'd like to welcome you all to the channel that stands for the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. First of all, I would be remiss if I went without mentioning that I hope that you all had a safe and wonderful Thanksgiving. We all know it's the holiday season. We got family coming in and out, family gatherings, and I'm hoping that you had an awesome one. All of my audience members, I'm hoping that you had a great Thanksgiving. Now, with that being said, we got to get back to business. We got to deal with this Charles Barkley situation because recently Charles Barkley was on the CNN This Morning show. Now, while they had Charles Barkley on there to discuss a variety of subjects, it was mainly to address the Kyrie Irving situation, you know, with the anti-Semitic posts and so-called anti-Semitic language that he supposedly used lately. Well, in the midst of answering those questions, Charles actually offers a hot take himself when he makes the statement that black people are the most homophobic out of all races. Charles Barkley, yes, he said that black people are the most homophobic out of all races. He actually said we are the worst when it comes to the way that we treat the homosexual, the gay, the LGBT community. And on today, we're going to discuss this. But before we get into the video clip that I'm about to show y'all, if you're new to the channel, let me let you know what you can do to the channel. I need you all to smash that like button. Smash that like button. It's free, homie. And then also hit the subscribe button and don't forget the notification bell because you don't want to miss when I'm dropping content like this. My goal is to get to this 1,000 subscribers. I'm almost there. Y'all are doing such a wonderful job. Also, hashtag higher heights in the comments and let me know what you think about the topic.
And more than a decade ago, I do have to say, and then I'll let you guys jump in here because I don't want to hog the conversation. One of the first people to contact me after I came out was this man right here. And that was over a decade ago. So these issues are really important to you, and you always stand up for people's individual rights.
Well, you know, Don, first of all, one thing that always has disturbed me as a black person, which really bothers me about the Kyrie Irving situation and the Kanye West situation, first of all, being black in America is already hard enough. And for us to go at other ethnic groups just makes things worse because it's hard enough being black. And one thing has always disappointed me, black people treat gay people, we are the worst when it comes to treating gay people. And that's one thing growing up, it really always bothers me. And I want to reach out to you and all my gay friends, all my transgender friends, and tell you, man, I got nothing but love and respect for you. I want you to be you. And I wanted you to know that day, because I understand being black, what it's like being gay, because you get mistreated, and it's really unfortunate and sad and stupid, to be honest with you.
Now, when Charles Barkley makes this statement that black people are the most homophobic, on one hand, it makes me think, where is he getting this data and statistics to support such a statement? But on the other hand, common sense tells me that Charles Barkley has no such data that supports such a statement. Rather, Charles Barkley is less concerned with saying something that is actually factually true, but more concerned with making a hot take or having a politically correct sounding soundbite. Yo, hashtag higher heights in the comments. Do y'all think that black people are more homophobic than any other race? Let me know what y'all think in the comments. I'm interested to see what y'all think. Now, before we dive into this, it's important that we take note that I myself am African American, and I do come from a black family. I don't know if y'all noticed, but I can say that yes, it was heavily discouraged to practice homosexuality where I come from. And not just because of the religious confines, or because most of my childhood was not spent growing up inside of the church. So even if we were to remove the God and faith aspects from this conversation, it's safe to say that at an early age, I got the message that it was not okay or all right or accepted or supported for a man to sleep with another man, or vice versa, a woman to sleep with another woman. As a matter of fact, it seemed to be my people's worst fear to find out if one of their kids were gay. As a result of this fear, I feel like a lot of the people back then did a lot of things to ensure that this was not the case. Now, I know that If you were born in the 2000s, it's going to be hard to picture this kind of world that I'm about to speak of. But long ago, in a faraway land, BCC, before cancer culture, people used to use slurs for people who chose to live this alternative sexual lifestyle. Now, this is way before this community started defining itself as LGBTQIA plus community. Now, this was normal and accepted. As a matter of fact, it was so normal that oftentimes as children, me and my cousin would use the word gay to describe anything that we perceived to be messed up or just off in some kind of way. We would use that word to define it, the word gay. Like anything that we didn't like or we didn't want to do or we just thought was a little bit off, we would say, man, that's gay. Now, am I saying this is right? Of course not. I mean, name calling is never okay. I mean, after all, at one point in time, it was normal for a certain group of people to call my group of people by a slur that we know is not acceptable in today's terms, but it was normal and acceptable back then. All I'm saying is black families did not want their son bringing a man home for the holidays, vice versa. Their daughters bringing a daughter home for the holidays. You understand what I'm saying? So as a result, they did their best to promote heterosexuality in their homes, albeit sometimes coming off as homophobic. So yes, you could say that black people have been homophobic, but is it safe to say that we've been any more homophobic than any other race? No, I can't really make that statement. All right, here's a little fun fact that we finna deal with. Did you know that there are still 69 states that still have laws that criminalize homosexual activity? Now, half of these are in Africa, but we'll get to that later. Oh, and I'm gonna post a list of these countries on here as well. Hey, let me take a pause for the cause. If you haven't hit the like button already, I need you to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. I don't want you to miss when I'm dropping content like this anyway. Now, what this tells me is that being homophobic isn't about race, but more about the belief in the natural construct and definition of what it means to be a man or a woman. Like the natural order of what it means to be a man and a woman and the design that was originally planned for men and women. Now, when we look closer at the number of countries that still criminalize homosexual activity, and over half of them being in Africa, what this tells me is black people as a whole and as a culture don't believe in going against the natural order of reproduction or the natural order of the male and female family construct. Now, I've already said judging and name calling is wrong. And to treat another human being as less than or to devalue a human in any sort of way is not righteous. And we here on Higher Heights certainly do not want to do that or offend any particular group of people. And while this behavior is wrong, it's also wrong to label a group of people as homophobic simply because they don't condone said behavior. Now, when it comes to Charles Barkley, I find it hard to believe that 30 years ago, this would have been his same opinion on this particular subject. But then again, 30 years ago, Charles Barkley didn't make his money off his opinion either. And we can act like it ain't true, but folks, we all know that when your money is directly tied to what you say, then some people find it hard to stick to their guns, their morals, and their values on how they were brought up and raised. Now, I know some of you out there may be saying, Higher Heights, Charles Barkley may have evolved. His mindset may have changed. There is a such thing as evolution, right? And to that I say you're correct. But as long as the world has been around and as long and as much as we have evolved as a world, there are still some laws that never change, such as the laws of nature, i.e. the laws of God. Trees are still trees. The ocean is still an ocean. Giraffes don't have sex with hippopotamus. Horses aren't having sex with elephants. And whales aren't walking on dry land. I think you get the point. You see, we as humans have free will. And we are the only one of God's creations that uses this free will to defy him. So You could be a man and feel like I want to be a woman, or a woman and feel like you want to be a man, or all the other letters of the alphabet that they've involved in that community. And while I don't judge anybody, and I'm not trying to knock or degrade you or even say anything about the lifestyle that you choose, I have to acknowledge the fact that we are the only one of his creations that seems to want to evolve, i.e., go against the nature of what we were created to do. And while we have free will and it can be a beautiful thing, I believe that we can also take advantage of that free will and cause death and destruction. Death not only in the physical sense, but death in our minds, death to our families, death to everything that God created to be a beautiful thing for us. Now, money and being accepted by this world are very important to some people. But believe it or not, there are still some people who hold God's law firmly close to their heart. And while people want the freedom to be able to express themselves and to do them, you also have to respect people who have a different set of beliefs that just so happen to go against what you believe. I do believe that we can all coexist without hating, without hurting or causing harm to each other. But to ask people to believe in something that goes against their very fiber of their being and fabric of how they're made, that's just kind of insane. It's infringing upon their right to be human as well. So when we look at the world today and the way it's presently constructed, we got to realize that we're getting closer to the day that we talk about here on Higher Heights when God is coming back. So you got to choose your side. And when it comes to Charles Barkley, I forgive him because I understand at one point where he's trying to come from. But then on another angle, I can see where his vision is being skewed by the dollar. Y'all be blessed.